Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Billy. What's up, Billy?
The Russo brothers should have explained stuff in the movie.
Well, they didn't. But I just want to say, Billy, Captain America contacted me, and he wanted to let you know that he said Reed Richards says hi, and the X-Men, and he's going back there after he dropped off the shield. But anyway, yes, thank you, Reed Richards, for using a bioscan of Captain America's aura to pinpoint by the exact computations of what timeline he came from to zap him on the park bench, because we know that if he was supposed to zap back, he had to zap back in that exact spot that he sat in. So thank you, Reed Richards, for using your time machine to let Captain America sit on the bench. Appreciate it.
Do you think they're going to make the X-Men just be an alternate reality because they think it's too complicated to bring them in with the Inhumans?
I didn't say it was complicated, but I just feel that do you think they think that? I don't know. I just know that, one, they said they wanted to do Secret Wars. They says if they come back to Marvel, they're doing Secret Wars. Definitely. And despite them getting a catalog of MGM movies that will cover them for the next 7 years, they'll be back doing Secret Wars.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, the Russo brothers just came out. Chris said that they got drunk at Celebration, and basically they confirmed that Captain America went back in time, and that's not what always happened, and that he did create another alternate reality, which contradicts how I looked at it.
Correct.
And I'm fine with this. I'm fine with the way it plays out. I'm just saying that, my way I looked at it was definitely possible.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, because Captain America would not sit by and allow people to die to protect the timeline.
No, I understand that. I'm saying, given the rules, had he gone back and he lived it the way I saw it, he wouldn't have been able to interfere. But
that would have been impossible. Because,
not necessarily.
Because just by buying a bagel on the corner.
The universe wouldn't have let him, though. That's the thing.
That's not Doctor Who, but okay.
Given the rules of their time travel, though, it would have. So either way makes sense. It just happens to be this way. The problem I have that irritates me is they didn't explain it until way later. Yeah. And I'm like, but you could have done this before I made a post about it?
They couldn't explain it. Well, no, because they want to make you look like an idiot. No, I'm just kidding. No.
That's how I feel.
Exactly. I love your speeches, by the way. Because I love when I read all your stuff, and I read every single line, and then when it's done, I'm like, no. That's the one thing I love. Because it's like, no, that's not it. Because here's the thing. And I know it's not the same as the comics, but they read the comics.
You wouldn't have said no today had it not been for the Russos' big mouth.
I had huge debates today with a whole bunch of big comic book people, and I'm telling you right now, like, not that I wasted my day talking about it, but I had to get answers, and I've read a lot of comic books, and it doesn't matter. He is Captain America. He cannot, like. It's not when Peter Parker ate a hot dog and he didn't want to save the guy getting mugged like a joke. No. He would have... So, in other words, he did not fix the shield in his backyard because he remained Captain America. She formed S.H.I.E.L.D. They did save... they did revive Captain America in the ice. There's two of them in that universe. They prevented Thanos in that universe. They didn't want to go into details exactly what he did because they said in future movies it will be revealed, because more than likely, he's in the universe where Reed Richards and X-Men and all that stuff came to be due to his interference.
God, the general public is so confused. I'm fine with that.
Because what's going to happen is
I just wish
somebody named Reed Richards is going to be fascinated by Steve Rogers talking about alternate realities, that he'll want to explore the reaches of space with his family to see what's out there. Maybe they'll find gems, and then boom.
It just bothers me. The only thing that bothers me is it was such a perfect ending the way it was, and then they said that is like, and it's.
And also in the comics,
it was wrapped up in a nice little bow, and then they fucked it up.
Well, in the comics,
but still,
wait, let me just add something.
My argument still stands. He still could have done it the way I said it.
Well, also in the comics,
because he would. I know you want to say that he could wouldn't have stand by and let people die, but if he went through and lived it that way, it would of course correct, because it's the same type of rules as what is it, Lost, where when they go back and they live it that way, nothing can change. Like, no matter what they do, nothing changes.
All I know is that in that reality, Professor X is like an Indiana Jones with his brother, searching for this gem, which of course in the comics is not the Infinity Gem, but the Gemocitorax, whatever. And Professor X become disabled, can't walk anymore due to the thing, whatever, right? And the brother becomes the Juggernaut, right? So I'm sure in that reality, the X-Men come about probably around, like, the Infinity Gem is the gem that powers, the Power Stone is the one that powers the Juggernaut. So there's a whole bunch of opportunities there for them to do Secret Wars, because it could be because of Steve Rogers remaining in that universe that he causes a shift that brings about Secret Wars, because he doesn't belong there. He can't stay in there. You know, not saying that's what happened, but it opens up the doors. Let's put it that way.
Oh, they just confirmed that Scarlett Johansson's going to be a producer on her movie.
Yeah, prequel. Which also I talked about that today as well. And technically, she went in the Soul World in the past, right?
Wait, what?
She went in the Soul World, right, in the past.
Yeah.
And Thanos destroyed the gems in 2018 months after, right?
Well, I don't know how long after, but yeah.
He destroyed the gems. So whoever was in the Soul World before 2018 is out of the Soul World.
I don't buy that.
There's no Soul World. There's no reason for the Red Skull. There's none of that. If the Soul Gem is destroyed, there's no Soul World.
I feel like it would just destroy their soul.
No, the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to stumble upon Black Widow and Gamora in Soul World.
You just said there's no Soul World.
Well, the remains of whatever they're going to be on that planet, wherever that is, wherever that place is. Yeah. Yep.
But the Guardians aren't looking for.
Well, they will be.
They're looking for new Gamora.
Well, new Gamora is probably going to be part of the reason that there's going to be Secret Wars, because her, like, everybody has a special code for their universe, and she's going to cause a disruption.
So, So as it stands, we have the original Avengers, Ant-Man, everybody, in the 5 years later, in 2023. In that timeline as well, we have new Gamora from 2014. And then we also have
from an old
Captain America in that timeline from an alternate timeline that he created.
No, it's our Captain America.
Yes.
Created an alternate reality.
Exactly.
Was brought back to our time specifically, but not with the technology of the Pims and some other mind, because he had to stand exactly in that spot. So someone else brought him back to
But we don't know who it is yet. It's
Reed Richards.
If it is, though, that's insane.
Reed Richards.
I feel like that's probably the only.
That's the only option.
Unless it's just more Pym stuff we didn't see.
No. Nope. There's nothing underneath that bench. There was no.
It doesn't.
No. It was the Doctor Doom's Reed Richards time machine. No.
Well, we didn't see him appear on the bench. He could have walked up to that bench.
He appeared like hours before. Like he was just whatever.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all confusing as hell now.
It's a lot less confusing for me now.
I don't think so.
I was a mess yesterday, but I'm glad I was right that they. Here's the thing. I was having a problem with the whole Thanos thing, but see that this also interferes with Doctor Strange's calculations, because in other words, he could not see the new universes they created, because technically now there's 3 or 4 different universes that Thanos loses. So, and there was only supposed to be 1, so technically this is going to cause a problem, like I told you. Even with the Ancient One, she's going to pop up again, because she's going to say, I told them to put all the stones back where they were. Doesn't matter what things differently happens, they all have to remain where they were. And if you don't put them back where they were, there's going to be massive... They didn't, though. They went to take the gem from 2012. They screwed up and Loki got it. That gem was taken. So
yeah, but
that has to be put back. Technically, when Captain America went back there, he has to stop Loki. In other words, he can't even stop Loki from getting it, because that creates another timeline. He has to follow Loki where he goes.
The stone's still in that timeline, though. It wasn't taken out of the timeline.
No, but no. It was taken out of another timeline.
Loki has that stone in that timeline, is what I'm saying. It wasn't taken out of the timeline.
Yes, it was.
No, Loki didn't go out of the timeline.
He's in that timeline, but they have to go to that timeline, follow him, get it back, and they have to bring him back to...
Yeah, but nobody is concerned about that.
Because they don't realize they screwed up.
Exactly.
Which is going to cause a problem that they're going to address in the future.
Yeah, potentially.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And the reason why the Russos will not tell you the exact year that Steve Rogers went to Peggy Carter and exactly what he did. They did tell us that he was Captain America fighting evil in that timeline. He was not sitting and hiding and not trying to meet people. And his shield was repaired. So, he didn't do it himself. So, obviously, he was going to tell everybody there about that.
It just ticks me off.
Why?
Because the ending was the point of his ending was, I went back and lived a happy life.
He did.
I didn't have any problems.
He did.
I didn't deal with shit. Yeah. And now they're like, oh, well, he did all this other shit.
But he didn't have problems because he knew what the hell to do.
But the point was to not be fighting.
But that's what he's Captain America.
The point was to settle down.
He did.
Nah, not fight.
Peter Parker settled down with Mary Jane and he's still a Spider-Man.
It just, it ruins.
What do you mean?
It ruins the ending.
Let me explain something to you.
Chris liked that theory better too.
Listen, let me explain something to you. You're a superhero with a super soldier serum. You have the opportunity to save people, right?
You're missing my point. The point is the way we were looking at it, Chris and I, based on the ending before the Russos opened their mouth, was he went back, lived a happy life, and didn't have to interfere because nothing would have changed.
Well, no. Here's the thing. First of all, a happy life for Captain America is him saving people because he would not just watch it happen. His happy life is making sure he fights evil and he gets the girl. His happy life is not growing old in a chair and watching all this shit.
Yeah, but that wasn't the implication of the movie, though.
No, but here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is, from everything I've read, which you could say is tossed out the window, I've read thousands of Captain America comics, right?
Yeah.
Everything I've read, Steve Rogers, yes, the love of his life is Peggy Carter, right? Yeah. Yes, he wants to be with Peggy Carter. Yes, he wants to be with Peggy to get married, right? But where you lose the argument or you lose the whole point is that, yes, that's his happiness, Peggy Carter. But also his happiness was when he was a frail boy that wanted to do his thing for his country. He got the super soldier serum and he defended his country. He stopped evil. That's what made him happy. So
but that's not what the movie implied.
What you're confusing is you have this notion that his happiness is just the love.
Yeah, because that's what the movie. That's what the movie.
Chris, I want to explain. Chris, I'm going to say what I said to Billy. Right?
The movie implies that he wanted to settle down and not deal with anything.
Chris, let me just tell Chris what I was saying. Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, what's up?
Okay, Chris.
Do you have your popcorn?
I'm going to repeat what I said to Billy. I'm going to try to anyway. I just wanted to I said to Billy that Captain America wanted to let him know that Reed Richards says hi. He dropped him off with the time machine on the park bench like an hour before that happened because you know that in order for him to zap back, he would have had to stand exactly on that platform. So thanks to this wonderful timeline that he went to and he got married, he prevented Thanos, he chilled with Reed Richards, he chilled with the X-Men, and they fixed his shield, and then he was back in his own timeline based on his bioscans with Reed Richards calculating the exact timeline to send him back to. So thank you, Reed Richards.
Where the fuck did Reed Richards come into this?
Well, here's the thing, okay? The Russos today, right? They heard everybody's complaints, and they made a lengthy explanation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. He, like everybody's theory about, oh no, he just didn't want to alter the timeline. No, he did. He married her. He walked around the street, bought a bagel, interfered because you can't just not interfere. We would have to stay in the house and never leave. No, he was Captain America. When the time came and it caught up, he thawed him in the ice while he was also there. He prevented everything with Thanos. He did all that stuff. Captain America, being happy, married to Agent Carter, and being happy because he's Captain America. And then he grew old, and then he was brought back to our exact timeline without the help of the device because he didn't reappear exactly when they said it for. So now what they said was they will not tell us the exact year he went to. They did say that, yes, of course, his shield was repaired because he's in another timeline and he's being Captain America, but they will not reveal anything until future movie installments. They cannot say anything at this time.
I'm fine with him doing all that type of shit, but it ruins the implication of the movie that came out.
So the only way you could have it in future installments is, as the Russos said before Endgame came out, when they're saying Captain America's done, they're like, well, if you remember, they made a comment, we don't think Chris Evans is done as Captain America. Nobody knew what they were talking about because it was way before Endgame came out, but they made a comment like there may be another movie in his future, but again, nobody knew what they were talking about because nobody saw the movie. They obviously made it. They knew. So this could be the door to open for Secret Wars or stuff going on in the MCU. Because here's the thing,
which is fine. It's fine.
But here's the thing: instead of what's going to happen is just picture a timeline where they know that other universe exists in that timeline because of Steve Rogers. They know there are two of them. It fascinates a man named Reed Richards to want to go search for these stones in space and explore space. Radiation happens, it becomes Fantastic Four. X-Men happen. All these different things happen because of his intervention. Professor X is like Indiana Jones exploring with his brother, looking for the gem, which is not the Infinite Gems. It's in our Marvel thing. It was the Crimson Band of Cytorax gem, whatever, which they'll probably supplement it and make it a power gem instead, and it creates the Juggernaut. So there's so many things they could do with the gems in that universe, or different things, but because he remains in that universe, just like Gamora's remaining in our universe, it causes a disruption in space, in time, because they're not allowed to stay in different timelines. Because they're meant to be there. It just messes everything up. So what's going to happen is they're like a magnet for each other's timeline, where Steve Rogers in that timeline is connected to his timeline, and Gamora from another timeline. It's going to make the universes converge on each other and superimpose on each other and explode, just like the Secret Wars thing that happened a couple years ago. It's like,
all right, wait. Let me stop you there though, because we're getting way too ahead.
Yeah, that is way too much like What If now.
At this moment, none of that is happening. We have no idea what they're planning to do in the future. They may choose not to come back to this at all at some point.
They said they are going to explain something.
That's what I thought, because it was.
They said they are going to bring it up in the future.
Yeah, but what I say right now, though, is not what's. That doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen.
And I was telling Chris, like, I think Chris is in the same boat as me, that the ending was so perfect for him, and then they.
But it's not perfect because he can't remain in a timeline and not be Captain America.
He can in this universe because that was the implication.
The whole point of him becoming Captain America is to make a difference and save people.
I know,
but save America. It doesn't matter about that timeline bullshit.
His mission was
complete.
His mission was complete.
But he knows that in the past he creates a new universe, because every time they went, they create a new universe.
But the way Billy explained it, though, which I 100% agree with what he's saying. I actually like the way Billy said it a lot better than what the official story is. In my opinion, this official story knocks Endgame down a little bit for me, because
he perfectly explains it for me, because that makes sense.
Yeah, Joe is somehow now less confused.
I'm completely less confused.
It throws a wrench into this whole thing now, because now instead of Captain America going back and being happy and everybody going, yeah, that's a great end to his story, to me, the only thing I can think of now is, oh, Cap fucked up.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you could say that if you're going to say that Cap fucked up, right? Then why can't you say that they didn't have some safeguard with Ant-Man to somehow come out of it if something went wrong, without Hope and without them to appear moments after he zapped out? Because if he appeared moments after he zapped out and then he found everybody was dust, everything would happen in Endgame, but 5 years in the past.
Because that's speculation. That didn't happen in the movie. We're talking about what actually happened in the movie. And what actually happened in the movie, to me, while I understand it, in my opinion, is not the best way to handle this storyline.
But the Captain America thing destroys their whole concept of their time travel theory, because they said no matter what, like, he's going to create a new timeline because he's not supposed to be there.
Exactly.
But you don't.
So he creates a whole life with her. Like,
you're missing
it's impossible.
You're missing the point, though. If they would have stuck with the rule, like there's established rules, It would have been perfect because
No, it wouldn't have been.
Yes, it would have, because he would have lived out his life happily without having to interfere.
But it's impossible for him to not interfere.
Go watch Lost. Watch Lost.
That is not Lost. All he has to do is walk around the corner.
Go watch Lost. Lost is the same rules, but without the alternate timeline.
All he has to do is...
Lost is the same rules without the alternate timeline complication, because when they go back in time in Lost, they try to change shit, but they can't because it doesn't matter. It's the rules.
There's no way, being in the past for 80 years, or whatever amount of time he was there, that he did not change anything. He's going to change everything because he's not going to let Peggy Carter get snapped out of existence. Like, he's not going to let that happen.
Snapped out of existence. She died before Thanos did it.
But you don't know that in that universe because this is a different universe.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's all fine and dandy.
So she didn't die in that universe?
It would have been more...
How do you know? How do you know she didn't die?
It would have been more...
We don't know, but it's not the same timeline, though.
It's pretty safe to assume that she most likely died the same way.
No, it isn't. It's completely different.
No, it's pretty safe to assume that she died pretty much the same way.
Yeah,
how could you say that, though?
There's nothing that says
because she got old and died.
How do you know that something didn't happen and he shared his blood with her and she has a super soldier serum also?
Because
that would be incredibly stupid.
If she was dying, you don't think he's going to save her?
No.
Something else happened?
People die.
Tell that to She-Hulk, then.
She-Hulk is not canon in this story.
No, but he's going to, do that in the thing.
That shows a rumor. It's not confirmed.
Well, all I know is, here's the thing. It's impossible to believe that him appearing in the timeline can completely never alter that timeline because, again,
I don't think
he was never meant to be there in the first place.
Because before the Russos opened their big mouth, it was perfect. Before they opened, literally.
They even, look, everybody said there's no way that...
Oh, I don't care what everybody says. They didn't
pay attention to the past. There's no way it could be in the same exact timeline. It's impossible.
Yes, they can. No, it's not. If you listen to the rules, it is completely not. It is, oh my God. It goes back.
And again, who fixed the shield?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
You realize how many connections to S.H.I.E.L.D. has for 70 years?
Who built the shield?
Probably fucking Stark.
Stark.
Howard Stark.
Yeah.
Howard.
Yes.
Twice.
Yes.
So?
Okay. Yeah.
So he would have had to tell him what was going on.
No. He easily could have been like, hey, can you fix my shield? It broke.
Yeah. Anyways.
There's two Captain Americas in that reality.
Yeah, now.
They said it. The one that's frozen.
Yeah.
Is
there, and so is he.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is that could have been the way we said it though. He would have stuck around and
it's
not
a lot
interfered.
cleaner. It's a lot cleaner if they would have just stuck the way that Billy said it.
But it's not cleaner because that's totally against the characterization of Steve Rogers.
Not
smarter than that. This makes the actual story makes Cap out to be a completely selfish moron.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it does.
Why?
Absolutely. Because he went back in time knowing the rules and still said, fuck it, I'm staying here.
He created a new timeline. He knew the rules. He knew that creating a new timeline would not implicate his timeline.
He shouldn't have done it.
Why?
No. See, look, because look. Our way of looking at it is, the way we look at it is he knew the rules and knew that nothing would change, so he didn't have to interfere and fuck shit up, so he could just live a happy life. And then in Winter Soldiers, he's like, I was married, and it's all perfect.
Listen, he knew that creating an alternate universe wouldn't affect anything.
How does he know that?
Because they said it. They said what's the name died? Nebula. Doesn't change a thing. So him going in the past, creating a whole damn timeline has nothing to do with his. Well, the only thing is, he has to, at some point in time, He has
But
to
see,
return.
realistically, I feel like he would. I feel like he, knowing these rules, would go back in time with the intention of, yeah, nothing's going to change because I'm going to not interfere and blah blah blah. It makes more
But
sense.
the reason, you want to know why he
Chris
returned?
just said it's all perfect and neat until they fucked it up.
You want to know why he returned?
Maybe I'll warm up to it.
But you know.
You want to know why he returned at all?
If a bunch of cool shit happens, because of this later on down the road, I might be more okay with it. But right now, it ruins the ending of Endgame.
Do you know why he returned at all?
Go ahead.
Do you know now that any point in time they could use this thing to go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So if he doesn't come back, you mean to tell me that if he didn't come back, the Avengers are not going to go searching for him?
Of course they would have.
So that's why he came back.
Yeah, probably.
Because he didn't. Because he came back because he didn't want to tell them what happened. Because if he told them he married, Peggy Carter, that they would prevent it. That they would say, this is not right. You can't do this.
Yeah, but he's smart enough to understand that it wouldn't, except in the Russos fucked that up.
It would have messed things up. That he did not even tell the Avengers what he did.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the Russos.
Because he did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Russos just made it that way.
Listen, he knows he did the wrong thing. He knows that he wasn't supposed to do that.
He ruined it.
Why is that ruined? It makes perfect sense.
It made perfect sense the other way.
It makes sense. It makes Cap out to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It
does.
Why? He did everything. He almost died 1,000,000 times over.
If he knew that it was the wrong thing to do and he did it anyway, I mean...
But here's the thing. It may have been the wrong thing to do, but who does it hurt? Nobody.
Well,
potentially a lot of people.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, but...
So you think it will?
I do.
Well, what do you think I've been saying? Just with this whole thing with Loki taking the Tesseract and everything else, this is going to cause a problem.
Joe, we are not arguing that.
No, I'm not arguing either. But it's going to cause a problem, though.
We're not saying
he shouldn't have done it.
But Loki is going to cause a problem too. Every type of timeline that they screwed up.
Loki's a scumbag. I expect him to do stuff like this. I'm okay with that.
I understand that, but
we're not saying any of this shit.
I'm not fighting with you guys. I'm just saying that no matter what. And he knows that Loki, it's screwed up already, so what's the damn difference?
Well, you're going to make it worse?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, you know what?
It doesn't matter if Loki screwed up that timeline or if they screwed up the 2014 timeline. Cap created a third new timeline.
No, there is like 5 timelines.
No, there's 3.
There's not.
There's only 3.
There's 3.
There is a timeline from Guardians of the Galaxy that Gamora is now. There's no Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, that's 1.
There is a timeline now with Thanos that Thanos is not going to put the gauntlet on.
That's technically
the same one.
Same one, okay. You have the timeline with Loki?
Yep. And then the Cap one.
The Cap one is 3. But isn't the I want to answer your question, right?
No, don't say Ant-Man.
Isn't the Ant-Man one the 4th one?
No, because the Ant-Man one is the normal timeline.
No.
He didn't time travel. He said
he said he went in the quantum realm, and they didn't bring him back when they were supposed to. So it's like a Back to the Future thing, going to an alternate 1985, and he's walking down the streets.
No, you're wrong. No, it's the same timeline that we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's the same timeline in Infinity War, and the same main one, Endgame. He did not time travel. He was stuck in the quantum realm for what he
5 hours.
Where time fluctuated differently. It wasn't a time traveling through a
time dilation.
All right, so you have three timelines.
New ones, anyway. Yeah.
Brand new ones that were created.
Right. One of them shouldn't exist at all because they really threw a wrench into this with this whole thing. They shouldn't have said a word. They should have kept their mouth shut and let people interpret it the way they wanted to. Because most people that I spoke to interpreted it the way that Billy said.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is that throws the wrenches into it is that Doctor Strange saw 15 million realities that they only won once, right? But technically, they created a way where they won twice or 3 times because Steve Rogers wasn't going to let that happen in his universe that he went to, that he created. And now Thanos is wiped from that other universe. So that created a whole goddamn thing alternate where there was 3 universes.
Well,
that
Strange was looking at potential timelines.
Only 15 million.
Yeah, he was looking
Our
at
timeline, though.
He was looking at potential futures of our timeline.
Right.
Not other timelines. Now other timelines are created. Just now.
Right. All I know is now, and I've been speaking to people all day on this, technically, if the soul gem is destroyed, then whatever is in the soul gem is out.
How do you fucking know that?
But that's not right, though. That's speculation.
That's not.
Nobody knows that.
In the comics, when the
comics are a separate timeline. They mean nothing to the movies.
There's no reason for anybody to be in there if it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, and that's potential.
That could happen. It could, but it's right now it's not.
They've never, in any of the movies or in any of the canon MCU media, did they ever describe what would happen if a soul stone or if any of the stones were destroyed.
Correct.
So that means that any number of possibilities could happen.
Well, no, they did. The Ancient One said that they have to exist.
They have to go back to the points that they were, but that's you're
That
not
is-
making.
Well, no, in general, they have to exist.
Yeah, but you're not backing up that point, though. That's a completely different point.
The Ancient
point
One
you're trying to make is
specifically-
that if the soul stone is destroyed, the souls inside of it get released. But
Technically.
The Ancient One specifically was saying that to bring them back to that timeline for specific events, like Strange fighting Dormammu.
All right. But still, if their souls are inside the Soul Stone, and the Soul Stone is destroyed,
I would say
tell me that their souls are free, you're saying.
I'd say they're destroyed, but that's my theory.
There could be any number of things. They could be free, like you're saying. They could be completely destroyed. They could be...
Actually, no, hang on. I take it back. I don't think they're destroyed. I think they're just somewhere else.
Potentially.
In like an afterlife thing. Because I still think in Guardians 3 they might do something with that.
I think the Guardians are going to find the Black Widow and Gamora.
I'll tell you what, well, I'm okay with them finding Gamora, but if they find Black Widow...
Why wouldn't they? Why you not? She fell too!
Okay, but here's my thing. I understand that if that's the route they choose to go, then it would make sense for her to show up there. But I'm saying from a narrative standpoint, don't bring her back.
With or...
Adam Warlock is bringing them back because he's going to do the whole Soul Stone thing.
That's the worst thing that they could do.
They're doing it.
Listen to me.
You don't know that.
With or without the Soul Stone in Guardians 3. If it's there, if it's not, Adam Warlock, whatever. The Guardians aren't going to want to bring... They're not going to care about bringing back Black Widow. Oh, fuck. I just thought Thor might, though.
Thor will! What are you talking about?
But, well, actually, hang on. I have another point to that. Thor might, but then they might say they can't because there's actually a Gamora body around. There's no Black Widow body around.
They have to bring her back.
They don't have to. Or should they?
They shouldn't.
Well, because she could just exist like 2 Captain Americas in that universe.
I can almost... it's a theory still, obviously, but I can almost guarantee that might be a plot point where they're like, hey, let's put her soul in the new Gamora body, and then Thor will be like, well, let's bring back Natasha, and they'll be like, yeah, we can't do that. Because even if because...
You can't just mix souls from different universes.
What do you mean different universes?
They're 2 different people.
No, I'm saying you take her soul wherever.
You can't just do that.
Yes, you can. If you have
their whole timeline is different.
Yeah, I'm saying you take Gamora's old soul and put it in the new body. Hello.
But what about the person that existed that you think she's just gonna fade out?
Yeah, if she's
no, this is not no fucking thing. You can't do that.
You most certainly can. Anyways, but that's probably a plot point because Thor would say something along the lines of like, well, we could bring back Natasha. And they're like, well, first of all, she doesn't have a body, so we can't bring her back. Just like we can't bring back all your Asgardian friends and your mom and Loki and the Warriors 3.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay, when he snapped everybody out, right? Where'd they go?
They died.
They died.
They died. But you snapped them back in, and they came back, right?
Yes.
So in other words, they said that they can't use gems to bring people out of the Soul Stone, right?
And the only reason they came back from that
They didn't say
snap
that.
thing was the only reason they came back from the snap that Hulk did was because that was specifically an act of the Gauntlet. Notice how Vision didn't come back because Loki didn't come back.
Well, Loki was not a victim of the snap.
Neither was Vision.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't come back. Yeah.
But he could have probably wished them back.
No.
They just said, be specific. Don't start doing weird shit. That's what he told them. Just don't start concentrating on, because then you're going to fuck everything up. So.
But another thing I was going to say was...
And the Hulk's supposed to heal anyway, so that shit, I don't understand that at all. But Hulk has gamma radiation. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but this is like cosmic radiation on like maximum level. So, I mean, it's going to mess him up.
I mean, how does that make any sense if, like, he had a hole in his fucking stomach? He has gamma radiation that will repair whatever it is.
Yeah, eventually. But this was just such a concerted amount of it that it messed. What they were trying to imply was that even someone like the Hulk would be messed up by this.
Yeah, and it killed Tony.
That's what the whole point of showing Thanos all messed up at the beginning and showing what it did to the Hulk was so that when Stark did it, you knew, oh, he's dead.
Right.
Yep.
He can't come back.
One of the things I wanted to say was, no matter what, the way I know the way that Chris and I looked at it didn't happen. That's fine, but it ruins. I still think it ruins the ending of Endgame. But depending on where the Loki show goes and where all this shit goes in the future in the movies, I will most likely, because I trust Marvel, will be fine with it. I'm just saying right now it ruins Endgame.
Well, I want to, as much as I thought it was an excellent movie and great, there was no way it made perfect sense the way it happened.
It did.
You know what's unfortunate? Billy's right. It's like it made sense before. Now,
it made sense to some of you, though. It didn't make sense to me. But now it makes perfect sense to me, but now it doesn't make sense to you.
I mean, it makes sense to us still, but it's better. It made more sense the other way.
It's not. I don't think it's so much of a point, like, because like saying it doesn't make sense. Like, we understand what happened.
Right.
We're just not happy with what happened. So it's like
we just don't think it's a perfect ending like it was.
Right. Like the way that Billy described it and the way that I understood it, I was like, yeah, that fits with Cap. This one, it's like somebody slap him.
But here's the thing. How could you say what he did wrong is selfish when he was worthy?
Well, remember, you don't have to be good in order to wield the hammer.
Well, that's never been established in
It has been. In Thor Ragnarok, what's-her-name held the hammer before Thor even had it.
Who?
His sister. Hela.
Well, she didn't hold it. The hammer was trying to...
No.
He threw it at her.
She had the hammer in the old portraits that they showed.
Well,
she had
and then she was no longer worthy.
She was messed up, even before then. So, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm still just worried about how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to play out now.
Well, you could say that they put the enchantment in after her.
I'm going to tell you what, Billy. I think it's probably 100% confirmed that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be a separate timeline.
That's what I'm thinking.
Definitely.
And you know what they might do? You want to know how they might really fuck this up? They might be like, oh yeah, that's the timeline that Cap created when he went back in time.
Oh Lord. Well, season 6 of S.H.I.E.L.D. airs in like 10 days, so.
Chris Evans, show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I tweeted Kevin Feige and Clark Gregg. I was like, there better be a damn good explanation for S.H.I.E.L.D. right now.
All I know is that
It's like, what's Agents of Shield? Like,
if you think that Steve Rogers' universe that he went to is just insignificant or just a copy or whatever,
I don't think it's insignificant.
everything ties into everything. There's a reason they won't tell us.
I get that.
They know everything.
I know that. I understand that, and I trust them. And if it plays out and it's awesome, then sure, great.
And I think Chris remembers when we were talking on the Everything show before Endgame came out, way before, and the Russos said, "Oh, we have plans for Cap or whatever." Remember they said something like that, or there was like a thing that we were talking about, the tweet or whatever they were talking about, that there could be one more movie in him and something like that. Remember that? They did make a comment about that way before.
I remember that. I still don't.
Makes sense now.
I still don't put any stock in that because I know, but what they say now doesn't necessarily reflect on what's actually going to happen. So, I mean...
Well, not now, because now they are not part of the MCU. They're part of their own, creating their own cinematic thing, whatever, with their own remakes and reboots and Pink Panther and all that other stuff. But the door is open because they're making Marvel $2 billion. So they will return.
I'm just going to say it right now. Until that Cap timeline stuff actually happens in the movies and they explain it, I'm looking at it my way.
Okay.
That's the Billy headcanon.
That's my headcanon.
Especially since the creators explained it, but if you want to be stubborn about it, okay.
Well, until they make it into the movie.
They said it today!
I know, but until I see
They're like, hi, we're the Russos! We're going to explain this shit! I mean, flat out later. They bottom lined it for you.
I understand, but until I
gets a direct message from the Russos, like, bro, this is how it works. And
bro,
Billy's like,
I get a They're like, listen, Billy,
I get a DM
Peter Parker made a deal with Mephisto. You're like, no!
Guys, I got a DM from them right now. I'm reading it right now. It says,
no fucking way.
It says you're on thin ice.
Yeah. It's amazing how the first What If has to do with Agent Carter having the super soldier serum. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway.
They said I'm on thin ice. Is that a Cap thing?
Did they say that?
No, I'm just kidding.
That would be hilarious. Billy,
dude,
you're on thin ice, my friend.
All I know is, please, when you make Hot Tub Time Machine 3, thanks to Disney mentioning you, giving you props, creating interest for a sequel, of course you got to cast Chris Hemsworth, because you got to have one of the Avengers in there to make it make sense. So,
yeah, and like I said, all the stuff that happens in the future movies and the Loki show and all that could be really awesome and all tie in together really nicely. But I'd still, as of now, until all that happens, it's my way or the highway.
All I know is that the amount of problems that were created from this movie, we were talking about it all day today, and it's just students, I don't know, 5 years older than Peter Parker. It's like, oh shit, it's gonna be so fucked.
Well, I just assume those students are graduated or in college already.
It is so fucked.
Or they grew up in
people that moved out of their houses, and then they come back. Where's my house?
It's like fucked.
It is fucked. You got to create some type of accords or some shit.
Also,
snap accords, because these people are fucking gonna be homeless.
New Asgard was awesome.
New Asgard sucks.
And then Namor's gonna be like the Fisher King. The Star-Lord lied.
He has amnesia getting the fish out of the thing. He has no clue.
But you see, the thing is, though,
Namor ties in with where Wanda is, though.
I was just saying. Now I'm viewing that ending the way I want to view it. It's still kind of a neat, smart-ish decision on their part to open up so much more story potential with all the shit they could do. But as far as Cap is concerned, I'm looking at it my way until all that happens.
Right. Okay. Come on, Billy. Stop being in denial. They explained it for you, bro. Come on. Chris, I don't think he's selfish at all. Fuck it. Why not? Like the Doctor Universe owes me one. Yeah. Cap, there's your interest.
Anybody who dies because of this is on his head.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. That's what I was about to say. I bet Cap's going to feel fucking selfish about it later.
Yeah,
Shit.
like friggin' Hulk's going to get like ripped in half. That's on Cap.
Dude, watch. There's going to be
Wolverine's going to tear him up. I mean,
years down the line.
Oh,
Years down the line, there's going to be an event movie or something where a bunch of people bite the dust, not like Thanos, and they're going to get explained it in a scene, and then it's going to be like, oh, Cap's going to be like, oh, fuck, that was my fault. Are you kidding?
I'm going to hate myself in the morning for saying this, but technically what Cap did is busted a cap in all their asses.
Oh, fuck.
Those aren't America's asses.
So wait a minute. Will this create Hydra Cap? No.
Probably.
Well, technically the Tesseract.
I just want to know what the Loki show, like, what is he gonna do? The Loki show is not coming out until next year because they said it's gonna. Because they had a list of like the shows on the Disney Plus thing, and it listed like the Falcon and Cap show and the Mandalorian and stuff, and it said year 1 Disney Plus.
Wait, I have a question. The Tesseract is what? The Soul Stone?
Space
Stone.
The Space Stone. So if it's the Space Stone,
teleportation.
Then how did the Red Skull get to the?
He went to space.
Soul World.
It's in space.
But how did he get to be with the Soul Stone thing?
It teleported him there for some reason.
Why?
Because he doesn't know how to use it. He fucked up. He just grabbed it.
Stones can communicate, so I mean.
You alright?
Is she a black belt?
She is.
It's Cap. He's come for us.
It's the Russos knocking on your door.
Captain America destroys the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We're going to have to put him in the Pandorica.
Listen, the power of love is a curious thing. Makes a one man weep, another man sing. Remember that? Back to the Future, baby! That's what Cap did! They made fun of Back to the Future. The whole damn movie's Back to the Future.
The little white dove.
The whole movie's Back to the Future.
So it's bullshit?
What did Cap do? Bullshit?
Needless to say, regardless
did they see a white dove when they saw it after the snap outside?
Regardless of whatever happens, I'm excited. I just am perplexed about the ending of this movie now.
You know what? We're all worrying for no real reason.
But you see,
I'm not worried.
But hang on, what's Chris?
Go Cap!
Well, no, we're all worried for no real reason.
Care that, bro.
Whatever happens, we could just call Captain Marvel and she'll fix it.
Listen, all I know is at the end of the day, Captain America got the girl and fixed his shield too. That's it.
While fucking over the rest of the universe.
That's it, man. Like eating your cake, having your cake and eating it too. He fucking took care of that.
The Russos, even though they confused the shit and ruined the ending of the movie, this gets people talking.
Yo, man.
And it keeps
Whoop beer on me, Cap. You go, bro. Serve that shit.
It keeps people interested, so.
Makes complete sense to me now.
I was already interested, but now I'm
fully invested.
Yeah. I don't know how Joe's less confused, but
I'm completely less confused. Makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense once the Russo brothers.
Thanks, Reed, for dropping on Captain America.
This is the fucking Palpatine laugh all over again.
The moment he said Hail Hydra. Hell yeah. You knew that he was like, listen, if I ever go back in time, I'm going to race you, motherfuckers. And he does, probably. He fucks up everybody. I know you, fucker. Aramzola, fuck you too. Oh, shit. Fucking Cap universe. taking out all these mothers. That shit would be amazing.
I feel like it's gonna go bad though because of it.
Fucking love that.
All right.
Great.
Everybody have a good night.
That's why he's on the main cover of Endgame. He took care of that shit.
Cast is about to end. Everybody have a good one.
Take care. Bye for now.